What's happening? Welcome back and welcome to Sparks the Conversation. Again, Rowan has ditched me, but I have a better co-host today. This is my friend Laura. I've known her for a while, to be fair. We go way back, way back to probably days that we don't want to remember. Yeah, we'll move on from that very quickly. But yeah, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, but we're going to talk loads about you today. So this is all over to you, but over to you.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Laura. I am a bikini competitor. I suppose you can call me that now. Born in Devon, but now live in the glorious Birmingham, where I'm studying midwifery, with plans to stay, I think. But yeah, looking forward to having a chinwag and getting down to business and all things bikini and bodybuilding.
Yeah, we've literally just probably spoken for like half an hour as well, but some of that stuff we obviously couldn't have on air because most of the time it's pretty close to the line. But yeah, some of that might slip in. You never know. Like after a long day, my filter just gradually goes, and like 100%. I'll weigh it up in my head, and I'll just be like, do you know what? Just fuck it, say Alex, because it is what it is, isn't it? I don't care.
Yeah, I'm still kind of got prep brain at the same time as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just delivering babies all day, like you can do what you want, innit?
Yeah, staring kind of south and whatnot. Yeah.
Sick. Right, so talk to us. Like, obviously, you've just come off your first season, okay? Very successful season at that. So talk us through it. How long have you been training? What was the decision like to start your competitive season? Like, what made you think about kind of bikini?
My big size 9 feet. Honestly, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. When I do my first show, 20th of March, we'll go from there. Did my first show, it was PCA First Timers in Peterborough, and I competed in the bikini tour category and won. Like,
sick.
What the fuck? Yeah, unreal. Could not believe it.
Completed it, mate.
Just tick that one off first. Whatever. But yes, did that, and it was absolutely amazing. Had the time of my life, met some absolutely amazing people. It was everything you could wish for from a bodybuilding show. It was that, the whole experience was just from start to finish, just smooth as fuck. It was amazing. Then went to the UK UP Southern Championships in...
Oh shit. Good federation.
I think it was the 10th of April, I believe.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. We can definitely cover that. I'm happy to talk about that. Very interesting show. Very interesting.
Let's go there. Yeah.
Got fourth and fifth, I think. Still podium spot,
Yeah.
Then moved into the Two Bros trained by JP, which was on the 16th of April, and blagged myself third in the Open, which was awesome.
Decent, yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of those shows then, like how many people were competing in each one? Like your class, sorry.
Sure. So the bikini show, the first one I did, there was 12, I think, on the first timers tour category. There was 12. I think there was 12-ish, 11 or 12 in the UK UP show. And gosh, how many were there in the Two Bros one? It was a really, really quiet show.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Quiet, which was disappointing because I would have liked to have kind of seen a bit more of a broad spectrum of girls. But the thing with the Two Bros shows recently is they seem to be having one like every other weekend.
Yeah, and it's quite early in the season, isn't it? So
yeah,
like if you think about it,
New Year. I mean,
no one wants to be prepping over Christmas and that. Like, if you're in your right mind, like I don't know how you did that. I would have been
Christmas, New Year, boyfriend's birthday, our anniversary, Valentine's Day. Like, what was I thinking?
Fuck Valentine's Day, pointless anyway. Yeah, so like it was decent. Like your first show. Like personally, I think your look got better with each show. So I don't know how those placings worked. But like you won the PCA, didn't you? Which is a mega show to win. And of course, the lovely Peterborough. We always have bodybuilding shows in the nicest places of the country.
It's the randomest place in the entire world. Yeah.
It's like, can we find the cheapest theatre where they won't mind nudity? Let's go there.
An orange handprints all over
yeah.
the wall.
So in terms of your prep then, how long were we talking for your first show?
Prepped for 20 weeks for my first show. So quite a long time, but needed, especially when you're trying to, it's the first time you've ever dieted that hard. I didn't really know how difficult it was going to be. I knew it was going to be absolutely horrendous, obviously. Didn't go into it completely blind.
Yeah.
But I needed the 20 weeks, definitely. I was the heaviest I'd ever weighed coming into prep, which I started on the 1st of November. I think I was about 83 kilos, which isn't huge for me because I am grazing 6 foot, 5'11" and a half.
Yeah, not a small person.
It was a comfortable weight, but it was, I felt heavy because I'm quite naturally lean anyway. And I was shoveling it at that point, but I was fucking strong. So
yeah, those are the days when you're strong, isn't it? Like that's
exactly, when you're actually enjoying the gym.
Yeah, but, 20 weeks. That's a good prep. Yeah. And I was gonna say, when I saw you at Christmas, how many weeks out were you then?
Oh, 12 weeks
yeah,
out.
You were pretty fucking lean when I saw you.
Yeah, I was really
I was like, fuck me, you're just gonna be a femur. You're just gonna be a femur.
Yeah. I know, it like hurts to sit down sometimes. You know, when you're in the back, and you're like,
yeah, exactly. I lost all the fat on the bottom of my feet. So I was just fucked. Like I couldn't walk around without like my bone hitting like skin, and that was probably the least comfortable part of prep for me.
There's like no dignity in it whatsoever.
It's an extreme sport, isn't it? So talk to me then. So in your introduction and in our little chat before, you told me a word, midwifery. Doesn't have to be said with a lisp. I just developed a lisp for that bit then. Midwifery, is that it?
Yes, that is it. Yes.
So from where I'm standing, that's quite stressful.
It is quite stressful, yeah.
Yeah. So midwifery, I'm thinking call the midwife, but like 2022. So like babies and stuff. Yeah. And like lots of stuff going on in regions, like different regions of the body.
Yeah, mainly one region.
Yeah. Other regions are available. It's 2022. Yeah. But how is dealing with that been alongside prep? So are you on placement, and is that a work-based placement?
It is a work-based placement. Yeah, we've both got lists now.
Yeah,
it's a work-based placement. Yeah, so alongside all of your coursework and whatnot, I do 37.5 hours a week placement at the same time. So it's full time. Depending on where you are. So if you're on the wards, delivery, postnatal, antenatal, clinic, that type of thing, you'll do 3 long shifts. So 7 till 8 is at my trust.
How did you find that? How did you find that with prep?
Rough, really rough. I'm not gonna lie, because it's, you know, if to get to placement on time for me, I've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, I'll have meal prepped and planned everything to a T, take my gym stuff to work with me, finish placement at 8, get to the gym. I'd have to do my workout, whatever split I was on, plus whatever cardio I was on, which was high towards.
What was your cardio? Come on, there's cardio off.
I was doing 20-minute stepper, 15,000 steps. I usually do an hour on the treadmill to get my steps in, nice incline, and I was weighted by the end as well. So decent.
That's not that bad.
Is it? Well, I'd normally do 2 hours a day. If I wasn't on placement, I'd have to do 2 hours to get the steps in. It could be worse, but it wasn't enjoyable, that's for sure.
Oh, it could be a lot worse.
Go on. Yeah.
So mine was, everyone knows this. If you're an avid listener of the pod, which none of you are because no one fucking listens.
I listen.
You listen. Woo! Now my views are going to go down because you're a guest. So 15,000 steps, 5,000 weighted, 85 minutes cardio. Yeah, that was tough. And that's why I had no muscle left.
Were you on walkies or?
What do you mean walkies?
Walkies, like just walking on the treadmill?
Oh, yeah. And just dragging my ass around, walking the dogs. But
yeah. So this is when dogs are helpful, apart from
except when they're annoying as fuck and run off and you've got no energy. You're like, come back. Come back. I've got nothing left. So, right, we had a chat before we started the pod. Like, your plans have changed now. Okay, so when you won the PCA, you got invited to the Universe, right?
I did, yeah.
So talk to us about that. What's going on there?
So Universe is 15th of May. At the time, I had every intention of absolutely just smashing the shit out of Universe. You know, when you're in that like post-show mode, like fucking let's go, boys. As I got further and further through the shows, I think mentally challenged, like I said wrong.
We're all mentally challenged.
Yeah, we're all a bit mentally challenged to do this. I just, the fatigue set in, the stress of uni, the physical stress that prep puts you under, the mental stress that prep puts you under. You start a little bit psycho. You start putting shit in the oven that's meant to go in the freezer, and then things, you start, you know, talking to yourself, and then you can't formulate sentences, and it just all goes to shit basically. And it was starting to affect my relationship with my friends, my relationship with my other half, because we do long distance, and I just thought, I can't do this to myself and everyone else around me anymore.
Yeah, not right now as well. Like, because we said, like, you've got what you've, well, I, like we said offline, that I thought when you won that PCA, you got everything you wanted from this season. Like, in your first one, like, it would have happened at some point because the look you brought was class. But I think, like, winning a PCA is, like, it's good. And, like, what are you going to benefit from going to a universe? Like,
exactly. It put my name out there in all the right ways. I made some fucking amazing friends, had the best time and the worst time, but mostly the best time prepping for it, and then so much about myself. Like, I could not have asked anything else from that show. It was just awesome. And it's just been a bouncing board off of everything else that's happened since. So yeah, if I only did that show, I would have been happy, to be honest with you.
Happy, yeah. Wait, because you won the show. That's why you were happy. If you'd lost the show, you would have been crying. But
I would have definitely done Universe for Lost. But...
Yeah, exactly. So you're not doing it now. So you're not doing it. You've decided not to.
Doing it.
So
No,
you're going to go in.
not...
How are you approaching things now then? What are you going to do?
Plan for now. I did have glorious plans of possibly trying to do the Arnold, but I'm thinking instead just have a nice juicy improvement season. I'm really trying to beat it out of me to not say off season, because I just feel like I associate off with like switching everything off and eating my body bread. But definitely an improvement season. So recovering out of this diet, going back to doing what I love, which is chucking heavy shit around the gym. Just getting bonk and just reevaluating if bikini is even the right category for me.
Why do you think that? Why do you think so did you get feedback that's made you think that might not be the category for you?
So I haven't had any official feedback from the two bro shows, but just judging from the kind of the feedback that I've had from unofficial sources, some pros, some top level coaches.
IFBB pros. Go on, say it.
Not UK UP pros. But,
no, shit, man.
They've all just kind of been giving me the what the fuck is going on kind of vibe. You know, why aren't you doing better than you are? Which puts seeds of doubt into your head, doesn't it? It's nice to hear, but it's also like, well, why is that not reflected in my placing? Which again, I'm not trying to be a sore loser, because I'm so grateful for placing where I did. And congratulations to the girls that placed above me as well. Like, I'm not taking away from anyone's achievements. I'm so happy for them. That's the last thing I want to sound is like a sore loser, because
bitter.
I'm sure but it's just hard. It's just hard to hear one thing and get another. So it's just the confusion.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think that's the only problem with competing in different feds is you get different criteria. And like, when we hardly know the criteria anyway, it's fucking tough to like switch between feds, because technically they want a different look in each fed. And again, that just fucks with our heads as athletes, because we're like, fuck, I now need to change this. I need to change that. And really, we're not going to be able to change anything in a 3-week period. Like, that's why I think a lot of people are quite like federation loyal. So they like pick a fed, they roll with it, okay? Because they know what, especially if like you do well in the PCA, you might do well in later PCAs. So like, do you know what I mean? Or like the next level up of PCA. So I think like, it's tricky when you're mixing feds, but I think, so it'd be figure next, right?
That would be the one that I would potentially move up to, yeah.
And that's like, you do posing, right? Do you do posing? As in like, not just the quarter turns, hair flick, walk out, show your bum.
You literally do like a routine,
proper. Yeah, decent. Yeah, and then back double and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I really suit the look of the PCA at the minute, because I've got dense hard muscle and I can come in very lean. So in terms of that kind of look, I know I can do that, and obviously I've proven I can do that. Whether I've got what the IFBB are looking for at the minute, I'm not sure, because and also it depends on what I like doing as well, you know. And I didn't start going to the gym to compete. I started competing because I love the gym, and
it's just a byproduct, isn't it?
Whether I want to sacrifice the training for the look, or you know, so that's
what I've been thinking about a lot, like, because obviously I've got my eyes set on 2023, but then like I don't know if I fucking want to give up training for like 6-7 months, because like it's taken me so long to, obviously prep fucked me. Like I didn't do it well. I just went for it.
I mean, you came out pretty well though. I mean, you looked fucking stopped.
Yeah, but like it's never good to decide 10 weeks out from the last show of the year that you want to do it.
And then it didn't make a lot of sense.
I lost a kilogram a week for 12 weeks, which was fucking tough. But that's why I had no hormones. But yeah, like, do you know, like that trade-off is like, I'm sure I'll get itchy feet once I'm like deep into this off season and fat as fuck. But like, I'm not too fat at the moment. But I think like, that's the only downside of bodybuilding for me, is like the extreme that it really does fuck up the thing you actually love, which is like going into the gym, just putting on some fucking punk music and lifting heavy shit. And I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because like I want to compete because I want to do better than last time, but at the end of the day, I'm just a lanky motherfucker. So we're
both extremely tall, aren't we?
Yeah, but you're more jacked than me, so it's all right. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so obviously you competed in non-tested feds, right?
Yes, I did. Well, actually, to be fair, two bros, no, I wasn't. Obviously, I'm not on anything. You don't have to be. Non-tested. Yeah, sorry. It's all right.
Are you okay?
No, I'm just dreaming of bread.
Bread is still full.
Being like a big loaf. You're just moulding into a tiger bread.
Legal. Yeah. So you.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yes. Okay. But so, how was that?
Fine. It's so difficult to tell. I find it. No one really looks that pedded up.
Yeah, in your class.
Not really in my class. Yeah.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think like obviously bikini is quite entry level, so like it's quite similar from what I've seen. Obviously, I'm not the fucking goat of competing, but from what I've seen, like men's physique people can do quite well naturally in assisted feds, whereas in bodybuilding you just get eaten. That you would not have the mass or the kind of, you could probably get dry enough, but you'd also lose that size because you're natural, you can't hold on to that fullness. But I think physique guys, for some reason, because it's physique, they almost sometimes applaud like smaller guys with the lines, the good look in that sense. So I think the same applies for like bikini. It's not just about like, right, you're fucking jacked and you're dry and you're like a beast. It's more about kind of the whole package you bring. But like, where do you sit on the PED use then? Would you ever consider it?
Do you know what? If I were to hit the real big leagues, I always say you don't get a medal for coming last and being natural. And it's one of those industries, isn't it, where if it's accepted and it's not against the rules, then why the fuck not? I don't have a problem with it personally.
I'm the same.
I'm interested in at the minute because obviously I'm a beginner, and it's I don't see the benefit of it currently. However, I would certainly not say no if I was about to step onto a big boy stage, or if I felt that I needed to, and it was a pro qualifier, and I was thinking, fuck me, I've really got a chance here. Then it's
a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, like, I always think like, would it change my outcomes? Because I'd just be in like the big boy league with the big boys having been small for like a long period of time. Like most people start quite early, don't they? And stay on for a long period. And I mean,
because you still get like the newbie games with the peds as well, don't you? So.
So straight on. Yeah, I mean, I think about it a lot because I often think like, fucking hell, like I'm just trying so hard. You know, like natural progress. It's great. Like we love training, but like you're adding like 2 kilograms every 3 months at the end of it. Like you're not really, you're just there for just showing up, aren't you? I have thought about it a lot, but then I'm thinking like it ties in for me like a business decision. Would it be worth it? Probably not. Like I don't see myself like, what are we like? I'm 27 now. How old are you?
28.
So like, what if I go on now? I've only got 10 years on steroids potentially. Compete every 2 years. That's only like 4 seasons as an assisted athlete, and then I've just fucked myself up for what? Coming second in a fucking Peterborough PCA show where some knobs told me that I've got weak glutes or something. Like I ain't got the fucking ego for that. Like I wouldn't be able to do it, especially if like, I've risked. Oh, there's my fucking microphone gone. Yeah, I'm back. I'm still here. I don't think I'll be able to take it. That's why I think like the problem for me with PEDs is like it becomes less about what you do. It's more about what PEDs you take. So like not hard enough in the look, oh, take this. Not feeling strong enough, take this. Instead of in natural, it's like, right, not lean enough, do more work or eat less. Like, you know what I mean?
It's very like this pretty simple formula that we've got, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, as opposed to like the complexity of like, right, now I need to worry about this androgen or fucking whatever you call it. Like,
and taking the, you know, the opposite of this to get this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's just more, I mean, I love complexity of things, but I just don't think I'd like that. And also I don't like needles in my bum. So
there is that.
Just one of those things. Like, I can't be asked jabbing my, like, what am I going to do? Like, just sit around needling my leg. Well, people do, obviously.
Take your dirty needles down to the bin every now and again. And
weird, isn't it? But it's not weird. It's great. But like, fair play to people. Like, I do see it when you see people like Josh Bridgman. Like, when he comes in fucking peeled, I honestly, like, he's one person I'm like, fuck, I could get assisted for this guy.
Like, there's a few it there and you're just like, fuck me, you are
like, you've done it well. You're an IFBB pro in like your second season, and like, wow. But then again I'm like, I am nowhere near at his level. Like, he was winning like shows naturally, winning like assisted shows naturally. Like, I'm nowhere near that. And then it's like, already
up here.
Yeah, they're already up, and now they've taken the gear and now they're here. I'd be like here to move up like here, which would still be good. But I think it's like being quite realistic with yourself. Like,
100%. It's like, how much can I already give before I take it, turn the dial up?
Exactly. And like, I think for me, it's more about like coaching now as well. Like, I love my training. I love seeing people do well and getting people to do well and achieve their physiques. It's become less about like, well, it's still about me, but it's less about me. It's just like
you've got your little kids to think about now, though, as well.
Yeah, exactly. But like, fucking loads of them, he messaged me all the time. Exactly. But yeah, that's decent. So you're going into an improvement phase season. Like, how are you planning a recovery phase?
Yes, very much.
What are you thinking for that? Like, what's the plan of action, or am I putting you in the spot here?
No, not at all. I mean, for the minute, it's kind of just building my calories back up. To try and find whatever the fuck my maintenance is. Yeah,
use Harris Benedict calculator. That's a good calculator.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'll send that to you afterwards. That's what I use.
Thank you very much.
Carry on.
Yeah, working my way back up, trying to get some. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how other people have fared too much in terms of like PBs and numbers during prep, but my strength actually hasn't really dropped, which has been quite nice. So
what were your calories at the end?
My calories at the end, 1,060, I think, for the last 3 weeks or so, just to like really get those last few bits off.
That's low, but not that low relative to like, what was your body weight at the end?
65.
Yeah, it's not heavy, is it? Like, fair, that's decent. Yeah, I know some girls have gone like below like 800 sometimes.
Yeah, which is
did you still have your menstrual cycle?
No,
it went, did it? How many weeks out did it go? If you don't mind talking about it.
No, not at all.
I mean, you're a midwife, so you're like, this is right up your street, isn't it?
I'm open with anything. I'll talk to you. Probably February, I lost my cycle. Yeah, it was pretty quick to go, but I've never really been that regular, and I don't know whether that's to do with the contraception that I've taken. I was on the combined pill for like 10 years, and I stopped taking that in September of last year because I basically realised I didn't know who I was anymore. Yeah. I woke up one day and thought, like, what the fuck is my personality? Like, I have no idea. I'm up here and then I'm down here, and I was like, who am I?
Yeah,
stop taking this fucking
midlife
pill.
crisis. Yeah. Decides to compete the next day. Decides to compete the next day. Midlife.
Yeah. Now I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do figure. But maybe that was something to do with me wanting to compete in the first place. To know, but yeah, just thought like I need to work out who I am as a person and regulate hormones, and then decided to do a fucking prep. So
that's interesting. Like, it is a tricky one because like I know obviously we don't have menstrual cycles, but like my libido, I don't have like naturally that high libido, I don't think, because like I think my anxiety like gets in the way of these things. So like I definitely think that interferes because like I always feel like fucking on the go. So like libido is always like just not there. And then on prep it was like noticeable. Like I just felt my testosterone like going down. But I think that's just because how aggressive I went with it. Like I dropped my calories. But it's interesting that like yours were pretty early on. And I mean,
I can totally agree with you in terms of the libido thing. Like, it just completely disappears. And I think it's maybe something to do with the fact that like without sounding like a twat, like your body is just shutting down, isn't it? Like all the
Yeah.
things that you don't need. It's like, all right, your period. Well, you're not going to be able to build a baby, so just get rid
Yeah,
of that.
exactly. Like, and it's like,
you don't need to make a baby, so you don't need to think about
yeah.
it.
And if you think like sex is like calorie expensive, like if you're doing it well, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So it's calorie expensive. So body's just down regulating. Like I got to a point where like I was weighing up whether to respond to questions. So like someone would say something to me, and if it was not a direct question, I just wouldn't respond, and they'd be like waiting, and I'd be like just looking at them. So like,
are you gonna say something interesting?
Yeah, I'd be like, but it wasn't a question.
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't go well down in like social situations, but I'm not good in social situations at the best of times, so that's fine. Well, that's good. That was not good, but it's super interesting. I mean, what calories are on at the moment?
We've gone up to 1,460, I want to say.
That's quite conservative.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Has menstrual cycle come back yet? Or
not yet. We've only been on those cows for like 4 days. So.
Oh yeah, because you only decided recently as well. Yeah, so that'd be interesting to see like how long till that comes back. But it's not. I don't think it's necessarily not something to worry about. It's just something that will happen as a byproduct of a short-term decision that you've made.
100%, yeah.
Same with
something I knew was probably going to happen at some point, and
exactly.
It's not of any concern to me at the minute. Like, I'm not planning on having any babiys anytime soon.
Yeah,
so
not when you're too busy delivering them.
This is the problem, like, when you see all this shit happening all the time,
yeah.
I'm not doing it. And to be honest with you, like, people find it really wacky when I say this, but because obviously I'm training to be a midwife, I've got like a couple of months left. I really hate babies. Like, I do not like babies at all.
They're all fucking ugly.
Yeah, they're ugly, and they cry, and they shit themselves,
and they're covered in weird goo, and I just don't like that.
It's not a vibe. So and midwife means with women anyway, so we, I look after the lady and make sure the baby obviously comes out in a good condition and whatnot, and then if there's anything wrong with it, off goes the neonatal nurse, and I look after the mum.
Good condition as in like striations or what?
Yeah, nice X-frame.
Oh, sorry, this is a fitness podcast, so I was just checking. But like, I'm excited. What are you going to try and bring up in this off season then?
Glutes.
Is it?
Yeah, I know that I need glute definition, lots of glutes. I hate training legs. It's literally like the last thing I ever want to do. I feel like I'm the opposite of every single girl in the gym because I'm all about damn shoulders.
Yeah.
It's I knew it was, not that anyone's really commented too much, but I know that it's something I need to improve and learn to love, really.
I mean, like,
that comes from years of battering my legs. I mean, I've not got any ACLs. I haven't got an MCL.
Yeah, you fucked your legs, didn't you?
Like,
what was that from?
Truly. First one, I think I'm the youngest person in the country to have ever had an ACL replacement. I was 11.
Decent.
And I fell off the side of a trampoline. And the annoying thing is my mum didn't believe I'd actually done it. So I kind of like cried screaming up the garden, crawling up the garden path, like, oh, my leg, like snot coming out and everything.
Yeah.
And she made me
ACL hanging out your ear.
Pretty much, yeah. Just I could feel it like flanging around in there. I was like, went to the hospital and they were like, yeah, she's fine. Just put some ice on it. I was like, I'm not fucking fine, mate. Like, I can't walk. 2 weeks later, went back in and they were like, yeah, she's actually like torn her ACL and destroyed all of the cartilage in her knee.
Funny that, yeah, decent.
I was like, oh, nice one.
Yeah,
and then basically just didn't rehab it properly. Had it repaired. Played rugby, hockey, netball, everything you can imagine on it as a preteen, who doesn't give a shit about using crutches and is embarrassed in school, and ended up having it done again. And
I remember you on crutches when I knew you back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you do it a third time?
I have done it again,
Yeah, I think I've seen you on crutches multiple times because I've done my ACL. I did mine, didn't I, when I was a fucking fat rugby lad?
Oh yeah, you did, yeah.
Those were the days, but team ACL. But yeah. That's it. I think that's a good chat, man. I think we've covered a lot. We've kept it PC. We've talked about midwifery. Not to be said by Jonathan Ross, because it's quite hard to say. And where, if people want to follow you, where can they find you?
Instagram, Laura Tippett Bussey, at Laura Tippett Bussey. Yeah.
Cool.
YouTube, just put in Laura Tippett Bussey and you'll have all of my prep diaries from November to now.
They're decent as well. They get up some good traction. I was following them.
Yeah, they do. I
actually had any
up.
fucking time to myself. But but that's good. So I'll put all of that in the description. Decent page, gives out some good information. But thanks for coming on. We'll definitely have you on again, all right?
Thank you for having me. Yes, I have so much more to say. So yeah, let's
get going. We'll see you again, all right?
See you later.
Bye.